Booyah! I am Aaron, and welcome to the Cult of Cinema. Tonight I'm going live on a Sunday rather than a Saturday because, well, Saturday was a particularly busy day here in the Penn household. Now, hopefully, I'll get some people in here. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to make sure that I'm showing up as live on here. There's a couple people that are going to definitely want to be in here for this video. So Flip, Chris, Dr. Mark, Mad Scientist. Yeah, you're going to want to be here. Chris, you're going to like this one, I think. So at the end of this month, I am going to be, hey there, Eddie, the big 5-0. Now, one of the things that I'm getting for this month here, hey there, Alan, is I'm getting some omnibuses. So for those that don't know, I've talked about them on the channel here previously. That means I'm getting some fancy comics, some super fancy stuff. So what we did is, hey there, Vince, where I have around 5 of them altogether for my birthday, I'm getting, well, pretty much one a week I'm giving. So basically, there's around 3 upstairs right now that I haven't seen. So here's the cool part. I don't know what's going to be in the box. That's super cool. I knew I wanted, hey there, Dr. Mark. I just mentioned, man, that I wanted omnibuses. I gave her a list the length of my arm. So I don't know what it's going to be. Hey there, Griff. So it's opened right now, but I haven't looked in it. And apparently, she's only looked in it to make sure that the right thing was still in there. So what we're going to do is, well, we got a lot of stuff we're going to talk about. The unboxing's the first thing. I'm going to talk about Mondo Macabre. We're going to mention the pay-per-view that's coming on later on tonight that I can't get. I can't afford it, unfortunately. Hey there, AWE. AME. But I am going to unbox this with you guys, so we can see it for the first time together. Y'all down with that? So, I know Chris and Dr. Mark do some comic stuff. The Cult of Cinema Comics. So this is, I guess, a Cult of Cinema, Cult of Comics video. So you're ready to see it? You're ready to check out what this? Anybody got any guesses what this could be? Because I got Marvel's on my list. I got DC on my list. Marvel makes the best omnibuses. DC are catching up. All right. There's a few kind of big ones that I wanted, and let's do it. Yes. Okay. I know what this is, and this is my childhood. This is one of the things that got me into comic books in the first place. I was a huge reader as a kid, and one of my favorite books that I ever had was The Count of Monte Cristo. I lost it at one point, and my grandparents got me The Count of Monte Cristo, the comic book adaptation of it from Classics Illustrated. There was a flood in my basement, and it, along with many other comics, got ruined. So, wow, okay. So, Marvel put out the Marvel Classics comic series. And, wow. So just so you guys can see what exactly this is a thick book, okay. So what would have is like around 52-page comic adaptation and of classic tales. Okay, so this one here, okay, that's a bit shaky. Hey there, Jason. Was from 13 to 36. Wow, so that's when they really started going into the color, the big format. So we got Last of the Mohegans, War of the Worlds, Treasure Island, Ivanhoe, The Count of Monte Cristo. That's the one I had. I can recognize the cover. The Odyssey, Robinson Crusoe, Frankenstein, oh wow, A Master of the World, Food of the Gods, Moonstone, She, Invisible Man, The Iliad, Kidnapped, The Pit and the Pendulum, in other words, some stories with Edgar Allan Poe, Prisoner of Zenda, The Arabian Nights, The First Man on the Moon, White Fang, The Prince and the Pauper, Robin Hood, Alice in Wonderland, and it tops off with The Christmas Carol, which was the last one. Oh yeah, I'm getting the horror ones down the road, man. Those horror ones are really good. The first one's out of print, Dr. Mark. So that's what I'm going to find out, actually. So we're going to open it up. We're going to look at who actually did the work on these here. I think Doug Monich worked on some of these. I'm pretty sure he did. We'll check out the names. I want to see if it has like an index on here. See if there's any special features. I don't think the classics one is a special features one. For those that are used to like collecting movies, then a lot of these here have like special features on them as well. Blueberry did. Let's find out. So when you open it up, and eventually I would, after I read this, I'll do like an overview, just so it'll be top down, so you'll be able to see it a lot better. But let's see. A lot of these here, some of these have like just black on the inside of the artwork. Other ones have actual artwork inside of this that doesn't look like the slip case. So let's take off the slip. Oh wow! So this is art. Really nice art too. And I'll show you guys. So, oh wow, it's a wraparound. So what I have to do really quickly is I have to put this on the floor. So it's sewn binding, which is good. We want it to be sewn binding. Anybody that collects this, always look for sewn binding over, hey there, Red Raven. Hey there, Alvin. Over like something like, so what I'm doing right now, just so you know, is when you get one of these, they're large. They have like, this here has approximately around 1,200 pages. So you have to open it up, try to get it as flat as possible. Yeah, actually, this is one of my birthday presents that my better half got me, which I'll show you some of the artwork in a second. This is freaking gorgeous. To kind of like, you want the spine to be good. So anytime you get something like this, guys, make sure that you take it, you put it flat. You want to make sure that the base of it is flat. And then you just, oh wow. You just kind of like just slowly open it up like this to so that you can break in the spine without actually breaking the spine. Two types of binding that are used in these books are sewn binding or glue binding. A lot of the older DC stuff and some of the Marvel stuff that came from Turkey use glue binding. You can tell when that happens because you have a flat spine. What you want to see is sewn binding. You always want to see sewn binding because that means that it's going to last a lot longer and there's going to be less gutter loss. Gutter loss basically means when you're looking at the, oh wow, at the end, I'm super excited, guys. At the interior part of the page, then you are going to see as much of the picture as possible. I don't know, actually, Jason. Hey there, Dave. Don't worry, we'll be talking movies tonight too. I just want to, if I want to show you guys this, I want to show it to you right. By the way, the artwork in this is absolutely stunning. It's like Dracula. I wish Dracula was in here, actually. So this is the eye of the book, and by the way, when you're looking at this, it's important. As you can see, there's an eye, and you can see the sewn binding. So when you open it up, you see the Marvel Classic Comics right there. And let's see what some of the people that worked on this are. So the first one is The Last of the Mohegans. Every one of these, by the way, has like a little bio on the author as well. So this one here was done by, let's see if they have like, I'm actually super stoked about this, guys. So there's no, Doug Monick, I probably got his name wrong. Sonny Trinidad, he's a really good artist actually, was the artist on this one. So let's just go to, hey there mid-level man, hey there Death Bomb. I'm super stoked. So there's the War of the Worlds. Oh, Chris, that's a good one, man. And this one got Chris Claremont from, of course, X-Men fame. So we got Chris Claremont here. I'm going to get to one of the horror ones because I know you guys like the horror stuff. Oh, War of the Worlds kind of is horror, isn't it? This is gorgeous. I'm sorry, guys. So, Count of Monte Cristo. Who did that one? I'm actually kind of curious. That was the one I used to read. Was Chris Claremont? Okay. So, my favorite, the one I used to have when I was a kid, and no one told me Vengeance was good, was this one right here. Count of Monte Cristo. Actually, it tells you Vengeance is not good, but I'm a twisted kid. Thanks, okay. So I took it in a much different way. She, wow. Okay, so this is She. I think this one is gorgeous too. I love the fact that they have the solicitations on the other side. I don't know if I've seen Moonstone. So we got John Warner working on this one. Archie Goodwin, the late Archie Goodwin, did some stuff here. I know there's a Frankenstein one here, which I'm trying to find for you guys, and there's an Invisible Man one here too. Moonstone was done by Don McGregor. Just trying to find the right ones to show you guys. Food the Gods. There's a horror one for you. Food the Gods. Again, yeah, Doug Monick. Sonny Trinidad did a lot of these. Sonny Trinidad was one of those artists that if you knew him back in the day, then you would be so Kidnapped. Okay, what's this? I love the way they do this. So Kidnapped was done by Doug Munch, Sonny Trinidad. Sonny Trinidad worked on a lot of stuff. The Pit and the Pendulum. This is a gorgeous looking one. I used to have a bunch of Dell comic books. I love that cover. I think Gil Kane worked on some of these covers. I think you're right. Rudy Messina, Jan Montagna, Rod Santiago. I think that's the Tribe. Actually, I think the Tribe worked on this. So I apologize if I'm a little bit like the. Oh, this is the only volume, as far as I know, Alvin. The Tribe's here, the Philippine Tribe. Doug Munch worked on White Fang. Their artwork was gorgeous. I don't think there's any. Is there any extras in the back? Oh, there are. Okay. So in a lot of these books, they'll have what you call like an extras edition. So they'll have like things like they'll have the pencil art for some of the stories. And alternate covers. So basically, this is the cover. There's some artwork for their pencil arts for the. These are heavy. Anyway, I got to put this back on. I don't want to hurt it. I did try to find you guys Frankenstein. I know it's in here, but I couldn't find it. So no, it's not a best of. Basically, this is the classics one. There was some earlier classic ones, but I think that the ones that were done before this were either done in black and white or they were reprints of another comic that Marvel didn't have the rights to. But when it reached this issue here, then they were okay, names on the back. All I had to do was look here. So we got Otto Binder, Chris Claremont, Bill Mantlo, Doug Monick, I never get his name right. John David Warner, Don McGregor, Elliot Megan. Illustrations by Efrano Cruz, Young Montano, Dino Castrello, Sonny Trinidad, a lot by him there. Michael Golden, The Tribe, just a bunch of them there. So basically, this is the run. I think it went up to issue 36. Like, it doesn't have the first 12 issues, but the first 12 issues, I think, were reprints of another comic book that they wouldn't have had the rights to. But this is my first. You see that for a second? First gift of 2021 for wow. And there you go. If you're in here and you haven't hit the like button yet, I'm Aaron. We are going to get into. Hey there, Zach. We're definitely going to get into like some movie stuff. So don't think you turned on the wrong channel. I am flabbergasted. I'm going to put this back safely right here, and I'm going to be looking at this later on tonight. Almost every one of these stories, by the way, was 52 pages with no ads. I think the only one that was slightly shorter was the Christmas Carol one. Was the last issue. But there you go, guys. Chris, highly recommend it, man. Highly recommend it. That. All right, so let's get into this now. I had planned on making this, like, talking about the Mondo like pre-order that's coming up. I was going to mention that, like, for my wrestling fans out there, I'm going to mention the pay-per-view that's coming out tonight because it is pretty massive. Unfortunately, we went to get it, and we looked at our bank account, and you know the word in the red. So, not it happens. Next check we'll be okay. But it's not. But we got all our food and stuff. So I got a huge book. I'm fantastically fine. All right, I should do a live comic book reading. You mean like a dramatic reenactment type thing? Maybe. Who knows? One of these stories. Not a 52-page one though. That's a lot of reading, man. There's a lot of talking on that one. All right. So hopefully you enjoyed that part of the show, because I will be reviewing this down the road. The entire book. I'll review like the art, the binding, the stories, the way it's put together. I should be in total unboxing this month 5 omnibuses. That is the first one of 5. So I think that's a pretty good start for an omnibus collection. Hey, the cinematic collector. My things are kind of slow on my screen. Chris, man, you got to pick it up. You got to pick it up. Chris today, actually, I was speaking to Chris earlier. Chris is a comic book collector like me. And he picked up a couple like omnibuses himself today. And he got the Bronze Age Swamp Thing, which is a great whale one to get. Because that is such a cool one. For those that do this, nothing means a collector's quicker than back out. Yes, exactly. It's true. But you know what? It's the sacrifices we make, Dave, right? That's what we do, because you can't take it with you. But yeah, I'll do like an overview. I got to set up my camera right for that though. Jonah Hex. Jonah Hex is. Which one is it? Are we looking at like the original Jonah Hex, or are you looking at like 52 Jonah Hex? Like 52 Jonah Hex, like DC 52, New 52. That's okay. But if you're going to get Jonah Hex, Chris, get Weird Western Tales version of Jonah Hex. That's where you want to go with. Hopefully it'll lead into. I don't think Hex has ever been done. For those that don't know, and have only know Jonah Hex from that horrible movie that came out a while back. I'm sorry, it wasn't a very good movie. Weird Western Tales, perfect. So Jonah Hex was a character. I definitely want to see it, man. Send me a pic of that. Steranko is supposed to be really, really nice. Like everything that you told me, like I've heard that from people that have said they met Steranko and they said it's really nice. So after Jonah Hex was this really popular character in the comic books, much better stories than you got in the film. So eventually they kind of did a reboot type of thing. Well, not a reboot really. They really kind of like so said, okay, we did as much with Jonah Hex as we could in like the regular stuff for a long time. So what they did was Jonah Hex kind of gets pushed ahead in time. Am I going to buy the? Not. I thought I was. My bank account's saying otherwise. We'll see. We'll see. So, mate, we got another comic collector down here. Matt collects them too. I forgot to mention that. All 3 Star Wars. I'm going to guess you're getting the Darth Vader one coming out soon, right? There's the solicitations for a Darth Vader one. That's been reprinted, so we might have it. Batman Golden Age Volume 1, Superman Golden Age Volume 1, Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, and Avengers Volume 1. Did you notice that the Amazing Spider-Man and the Avengers have the letters pages? I know it seems like a small thing, but I think that really adds to it. So when you look at those classics illustrated, there was no letters for those. So there'd be no letters pages to be had. Basically, it was 52 pages, bam, cover to cover. You'd have something on the author, you'd have solicitation. So when I showed you that there, everything that was, if you bought that comic, everything that was in that comic is right there in that omnibus. Stan Lee was amazingly cool. We met him and we were, pretty awestruck. We met Stan Lee. We met Adam West that year too. All we could say on Stan Lee was thank you. That's all we could say. I heard there's a book or like a movie or something coming out on Stan Lee. That's a bit of a hit piece, so I'm pretty pissed about that. I kind of want to. The first comic artist I ever met, and it was super cool too, was Neil Adams, who I grew up reading like Green Arrow, Green Lantern, liked a lot of his Batman stuff. Does Mondo have any other Asian movies coming out? I'll find out for you, actually, Amy. Well, thank you, Ash, and welcome, man. I can always depend on you. I'm actually going to get my super chat hit over, I think, thanks to that. The Moon Knight Omnibus is going to be incredible. Bill Sienkiewicz, who did the artwork, of course, is amazing. For those, there's a Moon Knight coming out. Jim Starlin gave you kids an Infinity Stone. Well, Jim Starlin is famous for killing off characters, but I love him so much. Actually, he's really good. For those that don't know, Jim Starlin does a lot of the cosmic stuff. So Infinity Crisis, Infinity War, Infinity Gauntlet, stuff like that. A lot of the big cosmic stuff. Kind of what Donny Cates is known for right now in the comic universe. So if you're familiar with Donny Cates, and then Donny Cates is today's version of like what Jim Starlin is. Like Jim Starlin's still great, but what Jim Starlin was back in kind of in my day, kind of going on and doing the whole cosmic universe thing. That's Demons 4K. Hey, K-Dog, welcome, man. Nice. I don't have the Demons 4K. It's sold out. You're so lucky. I'm hoping to do a second printing with like a non-steelbook edition, but still in 4K, because I would definitely buy that. I got the Demons Steelbook. The original Steelbook came out from Arrow Video back in the day. Snaps, but it's a really good edition of that too, by the way. A really nice Steelbook. Is that Starlin? I got to look back at that again. I got like the 4K of Endgame here. It makes sense. Starlin should be in Endgame. You did? I can show you what it is. It's pretty heavy. It's non-movie related, Sardis, but it is I think it's impressive. And I'll do it really quickly because I know you guys want to get to the Mondo stuff. But it is my first ever omnibus that I own in my collection, a hardcover. Like omnibus, I got some hack and slash stuff, but like not on this level. But this is the Marvel Classic Comics Omnibus. There's the Right there. The Suspiria 4K. I don't have it. I've heard such amazing stuff about it, and I desperately need to get it. I'm looking again for like Frankenstein for you guys. While we chat. But every time it opens up the Count of Monte Cristo. Robinson Crusoe. I can't believe they got Food of the Gods here. That really stokes me, man. Oh, here we go. This is Frankenstein. Who did Frankenstein? I love the art, especially the cover art. Dino Castrillo. Huh. Not sure if it's covered now, though. But there's... See, nowadays, here's the thing. I'm getting older. I'm going to be 50 on my birthday. It's a recent release, yeah, I think. Let's see the print date on this one. Classic Comics, first printing. So 2020 it says, so it probably came out either late last year or early this year. So I'm older. I'm getting up there. So one of the things that I'm doing is I'm basically collecting stuff that I want to collect now, but getting them in big editions, because collecting them and waiting for like deluxe hardcovers or the right size to come out. As you can see there, it's oversized artwork, which is one thing I want, because a lot of people don't know I don't do it very much anymore, but I used to draw. I went to art school. And I'm hoping I'll be able to look at some of that stuff and maybe get some charcoals and just have some fun again and kind of get back, do some drawing as well. Nice slip box. That's the one, you got the 4K one. That's the one with the golden ticket, right? So I have a Sony OLED TV. Sony's such a great TV. They're is that a 4K? I did read some Dead World back in the day, but not much recent stuff. To be honest with you, Zach. All the Cannibal Corpse album covers. That's the thing. See, Marvel got into the game with omnibuses before DC did. So by the time DC really started to do it, they were a little bit behind on how they got it done. Different omnibuses come from different printers. So the thing you look into is where it's coming from. And there's lots of reviews for a lot of them online and stuff like that as well. Some of the DC stuff has a combination of like a sewn binding with a glue binding with a heavier glue. I love the golden ticket. The Jim Lee, the first one. The second one, K-Dog, is coming out, I think, at the 23rd of March, or somewhere around there. Somewhere late March, I think the second Jim Lee, Chris Claremont omnibus is coming out. People are getting different stuff. And hopefully, people are still staying. We're getting to the movie stuff, don't worry. But some, DC's gotten a lot better with their stuff. Even some of their stuff, like their Jeff Johns and stuff, which is some heavier stuff, especially if you're looking at like a Green Lantern. Then there's still a little bit of gutter loss, but if you open it right and after a couple reads, it shouldn't be a problem. And you're not reading like an omnibus in your lap anyway. It's something you're probably reading on a table or something like that, because it's bigger. It's not like exactly an absolute, right? An absolute, they're giant. Exactly. Marvel's binding. Now, Marvel did make a mistake with a couple, they sourced out a couple of the bindings. So if you look at, what is it? Morbius, and then which Morbius is one I'm getting, by the way. So I didn't care. Uh, but uh, but it was JMS's Spider-Man. John Michael Straczynski's Spider-Man Volume 2 has had problems with the binding. It had a flat spine. Now there's ways to break the spine a bit, but be careful. There's a ruler route, but just be careful when you got something like this. Like something like this, obviously. This here, by the way, can run anywhere between $150 to $120. This is not a cheap book. It's not a cheap thing to collect. Um, and most of you guys here know that. And in the United States, there's a lot of places to go, like cheap graphic novels and in stock trading and places like that. As in the UK, they got places like the Book Depository. Here in Canada, we're pretty much reliant on either Amazon or Indigo, or if you're lucky enough to live near a comic shop that might have them on for a decent price, or if you've been collecting comics for a while, and like Chris there, you can go trade some stuff in and get yourself like a good price, a good chunk off the omnibus. Marvel's been in the game longer. That's the thing, but I think they're both getting better. DC's absolutes are incredible. I go back and forth on what I think of the recoloring of some of them, because Olaf has recolored stuff. Like if you got Swamp Thing, you get the absolute Swamp Thing, either one of those volumes. There's two of them out right now. I think one more, and you'll have the entire Alan Moore Swamp Thing run on absolute. But the original run the coloring is very different. So I don't mind the new coloring. I think it looks good. There's a couple places where I think a little bit of the details lost in the way that he decides to do the colorization. If that sounds like gibberish to some of you guys, yes, they go out of print really quickly. And the thing is, there's usually two different versions. So what's that there? That's a standard market edition, right? And even that, once that goes out of print, man, it's not. They're big books. There's rights, there's issues, there's stuff like that. Some things get reprinted. If your name is like X-Men or Spider-Man with a certain name on them, like a Chris Claremont or a Jim Lee, good chance you might get reprinted. If you're Classic Comics or you're Ben Reilly's Spider-Man, you ain't getting a reprint. And these things go up insanely in price. So yeah, they do, and you get the big editions, which are called the absolutes as well, and those can tend to be, if you're lucky, you get them on for like $100. But when they go to print, you're looking at like things that go up to like $300-400, that sometimes even more, depending on like how much that book is wanted and if it's going to come in print again. Like to give you an example, that's what I was doing actually. When I first opened it up, that's why I didn't show it at first. I had it down flat and I was like flipping the pages. You got to stretch the spine first. A good way to know basically is if here's the Shang-Chi roll, and it goes like this. If you Killing Joke's gonna be a nice one. Yeah, Kung Fu won't get a reprint. Marvel just don't have the rights for it anymore. Daily Hands of Kung Fu is one I really want. I used to read that magazine when I was a kid. I think my dad had some. But Shang-Chi specifically, the original Shang-Chi series, Master of Kung Fu, not getting a reprint. And there's a reason for it, actually. Rights issues, serious rights issues. You see behind me, I'm not sure if you can see it. Yeah, you can right there. See Fu Manchu, the Fu Manchu, like the movie set? Well, Fu Manchu is a series of films based on a series of books by Sax Rohmer. Well, Fu Manchu was the father of Shang-Chi in the original comic books. Now, it gets retconned later on so that they can actually use the character. But to get the Master of Kung Fu, Shang-Chi series, you want to get on that because those aren't getting reprinted. Every time Marvel put out a Shang-Chi omnibus, they had to pay Sax Rohmer's estate for the rights to use the character of Fu Manchu. That costs money. That means all 4 volumes of Shang-Chi, if you can get them, fantastic. They're amazingly well done, with some great artworks and some great experimental panel design that I really truly like. But But yeah, this it's the Shang-Chi. It's the Shang-Chi syndrome. Stuff like that doesn't get reprinted. Mid '90s stuff that has limited popularity because of the some people. There's a certain level of like comic collector that really doesn't like some of the '90s, mid '90s stuff. That's probably not going to get reprinted. Something that has a film coming out, they'll print that. But if that film or TV series is limited and you're not going to see like a sequel or something like that, Moon Knight's coming out. But so you're going to get a good printing of Moon Knight. I wouldn't say you get another printing of Moon Knight though. So I grab Moon Knight while it's out. So there you go. There's a little bit. And feel free, by the way, to ask me anytime about any of this stuff, because I do love talking about this here. And for those there that have been quiet because they're like, when is he going to get to the movies? We're going to get to the movies right now. Don't worry. We are going to look at the Mondo Macabre website, and we're going to talk about the upcoming pre-orders. Hey there, welcome. I actually can't see your name yet on the screen. I think it's Antoine, right? Now it comes up. Yes, sir, Antoine. Welcome, man. But before I do, some shameless shilling from the Call to Cinema. Call to Cinema now has, amongst it, a page of merchandise. Whether it be the Call to Cinema face mask, the Features Franco, the Call to Cinema Movie Library t-shirt, the Call to Cinema Approved t-shirt, or the Call to Cinema Approved mug. All of these are found on the Call to Cinema website, where you can go and check out that stuff. And when you do, if you buy a Call to Cinema, basically, if you buy one of these items, you buy a t-shirt or a mug or face masks, you get the chance to actually choose and decide upon a video that I make in the future. Chris bought the first t-shirt, the Call to Cinema Movie Library t-shirt, which I hope to see once he gets it. And because of that, Chris has requested a video that is coming up in the near future. I do check Gem Mint and Mad Dog and Near Mint, of course. Trust me, I've spent a lot of time so much in those guys in the last little while. For some reason, your message wasn't showing up there, so I got to show it. Oh, somebody already handled it. Right on. You can also, for a limited time, if you order one of these items, you can also request for me and a movie for me and my better half to watch and review on the channel. So there you go. Shield time over. Let's get to Mondo Macabre. I'm so professional now. I'm so proud of me. Anatomia Instinction is getting released on the new Air. I gotta check that label. If you're interested in Submint and like anybody that's interested in the omnibus stuff, Near Mint Condition is going to be doing a video pretty much every day of next week, and I think there's an announcement on a new hardcover omnibus, whatever, coming up every day for next week. So he already announced the reprint of the Darth Vader omnibus and another like Star Wars omnibus that's coming out. So there's a few things that are coming there. If you're a Star Wars fan, so specifically, there's some good omnibus coming in 2021 for you. I'm expecting, like in some way, for the Charles Soule, like Darth Vader to get a printing as well, whether it's an omnibus or an epic, one of those. I would expect the Charles Soule one to get an epic run. So as you can see, this is the Mondo Macabre page. It doesn't have the new ones on here. The new ones are, which I'm not gonna do. I want to bring them up. Let me check. All right, you're gonna see my face for a second again, because last time I showed you guys the Mondo Macabre, I almost got in trouble. So let's bring it up here. Okay. want to go from Facebook? Do I have to go from Facebook? Maybe I do. So let's look at the photos. I want to make sure. I want to make sure I don't get myself in trouble. So one of the ones coming up from, yeah, well, it's drawn nudity, so it's really not a, hey there, Kubrick, welcome, man. Really not a big issue, but still. You want to keep yourself safe here. So this is Hunting Ground. It is by Jorge Grau, or Jordi Grau, who... I got that flag to watch, actually. So I want to check that out. So this one is coming on the... let's see if we got the other one here. No. What the heck? So Hunting Ground is coming. We know that one. Bloody hell. The other one coming, by the way, is Howl of the Devil. And I can see one picture for it, but I want to make sure. No, that's the nude picture. So Howl of the Devil is coming also. There you go. But let's get back to the to their page. So there's a lot of good stuff. Normally they do a pre-order. I can't say for certain, but they sometimes end up doing like little sales around that time, or certain percentage off. So it gives you the chance to not only pre-order the stuff that's coming out, but maybe grabbing one of the titles that you may not have known. So I don't know of anything AME yet, of any new Asia ones that are coming out quite yet. But there's definitely some titles here that I can recommend. So if you didn't manage to get Queens of Evil, Blood Ceremony, or Panic Beats, the last three pre-ordered, like Mondo Macabres, were extremely solid releases. I can 100% recommend all three of those. They were really good, and they had great extras, and I loved all three of the films. So if anybody has them and has a either a differing opinion or their own opinion on it, then that's cool. Definitely let me know. Let everybody know the ones that you'd recommend. I don't have Seven Women for Satan. That's one that I do want. That was a recent Blu-ray upgrade that they did. I do recommend that if you don't have it, and if you're, let's say you're a Giallo fan, or you just like thrillers, for instance, and of course, like me, you kind of adore an ideal like Ray Lovelock, then you got to get An Ideal Place to Kill. Gemini is excellent. I don't have Gemini yet, actually, either. I got to get that one. But An Ideal Place to Kill, I would 110% recommend that. It is a great release. Well, I will mention, the ones I'm going to mention, some are ones that I've already seen. I have seen Queens of Evil. There's a truth that I got to be honest. Blood Ceremony I watched, I like that. Panic Beats I watched, I really like that. An Ideal Place to Kill, I don't have the new edition. I got an old DVD of it called Oasis of Fear. So I got to upgrade that one down the road myself. If you like insane filmmaking, Santanico Pandemonium, and if that name sounds familiar, and you don't know where you know it from, and you've never seen this movie, maybe you saw a little film done by Robert Rodriguez, and yes, that was the character's name. And I'm going to let you guess what the film is. You should get it, but because not many characters out there that are gorgeous, and their name is Santanico Pandemonium, and they're dancing on a table with a snake. Which isn't this. This is just a name segment from that. Tsukamoto's fantastic. So there's Killer Dolls is another one I'm interested in, which I don't have. Emmanuel in America, not my favorite Emmanuel film. Women Chasing the Butterfly Death. Do you have this one, Amy? Because this seems like it's your type. Woman Chasing the Butterfly Death. Right on, from Dust It On. Thank you. I'm glad somebody got it. Sometimes I say this and people. Uh, Santonica Pandemonium is like a nunsploitation one. So if you like the nunsploitation, Satan type ones, you're going to like it. It's going to be a bit insane. That's the style of that film. That's the thing. I was not big on Emmanuel in America. It was okay. Like, I've seen a lot of Emmanuel films, but the features on Emmanuel in America are worth having it for, like hands down, because I'm a Joe D'Amato fan. Yeah, I got to rewatch it down the road. Maybe it was just I was tired when I watched it too. The Beast and the Magic Sword. If you're picking up stuff like the Hell the Devil coming out from during the pre-order, and you don't have the other Paul Naschy stuff, I definitely recommend like Panic Beats. I definitely recommend The Beast and the Magic Sword. Really fun one. Really great little film. If you are a fan of the beautiful Deborah Shelton, then Dangerous Cargo should definitely be on your radar. Oh, then you're going to love it. You like Sandy Zach, you're going to love it. Devil's Nightmare, the classic with Erica Blanc. Pretty sure, hey there, Twisted Cinema, that Kubrick's gone for a second, but I'm pretty sure Devil's Nightmare was the one that Kubrick liked. Perversion Story. If you are a fan, hey there, Trash, welcome, man. We're looking at Mondo right now. If you're a fan of Giallo and like good Giallo, Lucio Fulci, when he made a Giallo film, he didn't half-ass any of that stuff. Perversion Story is a great one. Other title, one on top of the other, I think, is the other title for this one. But 100% recommend checking this one out. Let's go to one of these. Their fan is amazing. So this is what's the most incredible thing a woman ever did for $1 million. Should be for $1 million, not for $1 million, but it's okay. And like just to think of like the features they got here. So we got an interview with John Sorrell, interview with star Elsa Martinelli, an interview with the great Stephen Thrower, author Beyond Terror, the films of Lucio Fulci, Nightmare USA, and Murderous Passions, among other books. Welcome back, Kubrick. I just mentioned you, man. And look at the cover there too. Incredible. I got the retail version. If you're lucky enough to get when they do limited editions, they'll have red cases, reversible artwork, like they'll have like booklets. Sometimes they'll have like cards and stuff with it. Inquisition is one I really like too. That's another Paul Naschy one. And the Devil Incarnate. I don't think I've got Devil Incarnate. My dad has this one. Has a special edition of that one actually. Who Can Kill a Child? I definitely recommend. They did a lot of the good Franco stuff too. So if you really are somebody that's going to do it, they're going to try to get into Franco, then this is one of the companies you got to look into. Like, I know you get your Severance stuff, but some great Franco here as well. And I do mean some really cool Franco. So there's The Night Has 1,000 Desires. I really like this movie. As you can see a gorgeous young Lena Romay there on the cover of this one. Again, interview with Stephen Thrower. The complete erotic episode on Franco. Erotica was this TV show, and they picked like different things like either Franco or Filipino cinema, that type of thing. And they did like episodes on them. So you pretty much get the entire erotica run by buying Mondo Macabre. We have The Blood Splattered Bride here. Who Can Kill a Child is an incredible film as well. That's one I do recommend. The Fan, as was mentioned right there by Jason. Jason's 100% right. The Fan is an incredible little film. And it is one of those, like, if you haven't seen it and you haven't read anything on it, it's hard to get quite where it's going. And when it goes there, oh man, does it ever go there. Like, it really goes there. But it is an amazingly great film. Amazingly well done. And I would 100% recommend it. I would recommend going in blind when you watch it, though. Like, don't look at when you're looking at any of these films, don't go in and look up stuff. Go in blind, experience it, watch it. Just look at the cover. Just look at the artwork on this one here, The Fan. Look how incredible it is. Lauren the Exorcist is another great one. Only on DVD, but still a great one. I got a bunch of their DVDs as well. Suddenly in the Dark is a Korean one. I think it's the first Korean one that they put out. This is a cool little film. Well, Trash right coming up is their on the 11th. They are going to be doing their next pre-orders. So the normally when they do a pre-order, sometimes I can't say anything. I can't promise that's for sure. Sometimes you'll see some of the titles go on sale during like the pre-order. I can't promise it's going to, but definitely something that's intriguing. And sometimes when people are going in like to get the pre-orders, they'll like grab one or two extras, like whether that's gonna like just to grab one, because there's only two that come up for pre-order. I don't think I'm gonna get the pre-orders this time around because I'll be honest with you guys, I was broke. That's okay. I'm temporarily financially stalled, is what it is. Temporarily financially stalled. But yeah, Trash, I thought it'd be a good idea to go and look into their stuff tonight because they're on the 11th there, and that's only 4 days away. They're going to have the big pre-order coming up, and we'll be talking about it before then as well. Hopefully they'll announce a little flash sale during the pre-order to get like some extra cash in there. Suddenly the Dark, that is really good. I was actually surprised by that one. Did you like the Korean VHS artwork like stuff? That was cool. That was a cool feature. One of my favorites, and one of the first Blu-rays I got from them was Symptoms. This is by Jose Larraz. March 11th, the pre-order, yeah. So you want to be there for that, man. There's going to be, I think it's going to go quick. There's going to be, I think, around 1,200 of each of the copies for Hell of the Devil and for the other one, Hunting Ground. So just like last time, it went like within like an hour or two. Even after they bumped up like a couple hundred extra. They went as well. But yeah, Symptoms, amazing film. Angela Pleasance is in this one. It's directed by Jose Larraz, of course, who did a bunch of stuff. They had that cool Arrow box set of Jose Larraz that came out a couple years back. Oh yeah, I do like Bay of Blood. Now, don't go in like expecting like a serious movie, Kubrick. There is definitely a bit of a tongue-in-cheekness to Bay of Blood. It's a beautifully shot film. A lot of if you've ever seen Friday the 13th 1 and 2, you're gonna notice where they got a lot of the murders from. But it is a fun, like, well done, wonderfully shot, kind of like tongue-in-cheek acted type of film. So I definitely recommend checking it out. This is your chance, man. The last pre-order was really good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not flexing here, man. I do. I'm letting you know this time because it's going to be a really great Nashi one. A really great Nashi one coming out. And Hunting Grounds too. Jorge Gro, man, this is the guy that did Living Dead in Manchester Morgue. He's the guy that he did the Blood Ceremony one. Just an incredible director. Can't go wrong with him. I think in the interview he said he likes going by the name Jordy. So we'll go with Jordy Gro. Lizard in a Woman's Skin. If you don't have this one, what can I tell you? You should have this one. It is right up there. Like you like Don't Torture a Duckling. You want the other amazing like Fulci, like Giallo. Well, every Fulci Giallo is amazing. Hands down. Straightforward, cool stuff. Dave seconds it there, man. And Dave's right. Bay of Blood is a must-see. It's one of those films that you got to watch. And Lizard in a Woman's Skin not only is an incredible film, it is also an incredibly well shot film, but aside from that, the features on this are insanely good. So because you get the documentary there, 35-minute documentary, Shedding the Skin with an optional commentary. You get the When Worlds Collide 30-minute interview with Stephen Thrower talking about like Lucio Fulci. You get another 30-minute Dr. Lucio Fulci's Day for Night, an interview with Lucio Fulci. From Burton to Baker, interview with actor Tony Adams about his experience on working in the film, 11 minutes long, and a feature-length commentary with Peter Toombs and Chris Gavin, along with radio spots and alternate Italian title sequences. Lizard started. Perversion Story is great, K-Dog, man. I love Perversion Story. It's an early one. It's going to be less sleazy than some of the ones that you've seen, but it's going to have like a bit of sleaze. But it's a good one. Perversion Story, I do recommend it. Anything Fulci, man. Like when it comes to the Giallos, Fulci, in my opinion, like I'll hands down say it right now, Fulci didn't do a bad Giallo. There was no bad Giallo coming from Fulci. Those movie stripes is insane. That would actually be cool. That's an idea. House of Clocks. I need to get that one actually. It needs a Blu-ray release. If it has a Blu-ray release, then I don't know about it. All right. So, is this out of stock? If you like insane action films, then might I direct you to The Warrior, starring Barry Prima, because anything Barry Prima is going to be super cool. So he plays Jaka Simba, who was this like apparently this character. I'm not quite sure if they have Bloodbeat or not. I don't know if I got Shudder right now. Actually, I'd have to check. We just finished WandaVision recently, and that was like super cool. Don't put any spoilers in case people haven't seen it. Mystic Symboli, there's an insane film. Devil's Honey, I love Devil's Honey, man. Let me know what you think of it. It's a different one because it's not like his other stuff. You're not expecting like a lot of gore and stuff like that in there. Oh, the Initials are incredible. Also, I gotta say, I recommend the Greek collections. The Wife Killer and Tango Perversion specifically. Like, understand, they're insane when you go in to watch them. When you're watching Tango Perversion, you realize, wow, that Peeping Tom, virusic, necrophilic killer is the good guy, then you know you're watching a bit of an insane film. Lady Terminator, for sure. Living Corpse, which is known as Dracula in Pakistan. Really cool one. Actually, way better than we thought. We expected this one to be like just super cheesy, kind of funny. But no, man, this is actually a good one. It actually has a bit of a Hammer feel to it. Lady Terminator is definitely outrageous. And of course, this one recently was put in as one of the releases for Volume 2, is A Girl in Room 2A. Oh, perfect. It's a fun little title. Bloodbeat, definitely watch Bay of Blood first. It's a much better film. But Bloodbeat is fun. Now, I don't have Sins of the Flesh yet. I don't have The Lady Kills Pervertissimo or The Killer Dolls, but I've heard good things about all those. And I do need to get Woman Chasing the Butterfly of Death eventually. But as you can see, they have the standard editions of Queens of Evil here. And, Queens of Evil, you get a commentary from Sam Deegan and Ket Ellinger. Bloodbeat is, man, you got a Ghost Samurai in Bloodbeat. How can you hate on a Ghost Samurai? I'm just saying. And it's like, what, a Christmas? It's kind of, in a way, it's kind of a Christmas horror film. But yeah, anytime you get a Sam Deegan, Ket Ellinger commentary, that's worth getting it for a loan. But let me read you Queens of Evil. We'll see if I can read a paragraph. Maybe one of these days I can read a comic to you guys. All right, let's see if we can do this. In this dark gothic fairy tale for adults, Ray Lovelock plays David, a lone hippie motorcyclist cruising the highways in search of a better world. One night on a lonely mountain road, he stops to help out the owner of a Rolls Royce with a flat tire. The middle-aged driver of the car gives David a lecture about responsibility and, unknown to David, punctures the front tire of his motorcycle before driving off. Furious David gives chase. There's an accident and the car crashes, killing the driver. Fearing trouble from the police, David heads off down a side road into a dark forest and spends the night in a deserted barn. He is awoken the next morning by three beautiful young women who live in a luxurious villa nearby. these three women appear to be toying with David, playing an elaborate and sinister game involving perplexing rituals, nighttime vigils. The climax of their game takes place at a party in a nearby castle, where David appears to be the guest of honor. But for what purpose? And there you go. It is a brand new 4K restoration from the OCN. It's English, French, Italian audio tracks with optional English subtitles. Archival interview with Ray Lovelock. Brand new audio commentary by film historians Sam Deegan and Kat Ellinger. Alternate scenes and trailer. Well, this is not like a Japanese film, but there is like a ghost samurai. So that you might enjoy that. But there you go. That is Queens of Evil. Blood Ceremony is an incredible one. As well, it's about Countess Bathory. I really enjoyed this one. Uncut international version, alternate clothed Spanish version. I can be honest with you guys. Clothed Spanish version, probably never going to be watched by me. But I do like the uncut international version. But it's nice that that clothed version is there in case I want to like make some people think I'm watching a clothed film. 2 archival interviews with the director, a brand new audio commentary by Troy Haworth and Nathaniel Thompson. That's going to be really good. And a brand new audio commentary by Robert Manell and Rodney Barnett from NashiCast. So also an incredible one to look at there as well. And of course there is the incredible Panic Beats. If you don't have Horror Rise from the Tomb, this kind of does have a character from Horror Rise from the Tomb, but don't worry, you won't be lost. It definitely stands on its own. Again, we get it remastered for the first time and a 4K restoration on it as well. 2 archival interviews with Paul Naschy. New audio commentary by Troy Guin and Rodney Barnett of the Barnett. Sorry, I'll get it right one of these days. Of the NashiCast. So there are so many good ones to get. I got a few here, a few DVDs, a few Blu-rays. I was going to bring them up initially, but I didn't. Because I wanted to do the unboxing. I wanted to get that. I was excited because for those that were here since the beginning of this video, when I did my unboxing, I legit unboxed it with you guys. I didn't know what was unboxed until I opened it up. And I think that's obvious by the way that my response was and the way that I looked at the book afterwards. You can tell when I don't know. Because professionality goes out the window, man. Fox with a Velvet Tail is actually a good one as well. Definitely more of a lighter giallo film, but I enjoyed it. Now, there's a bunch of titles that aren't on here that you're not seeing. Like, this is just some of the titles. Like, let me do something. Let me just dive into DVD world with them. Here we go. Now, some of these are going to be out of print, some of these aren't. Oh, they're not. They're going to show up here, are they? Well, why, yada. Maybe some of these are right now are out of stock or out of print. I'm actually really surprised that Diabolical Dr. Z is still here, because this has been going out of print and was out of print for a while actually. But it's a fun one. It's an early Franco, so you're looking at something that's definitely got a more like plot. He did a good interview with Brian actually. Daisuke is a really nice guy, as you know. So there's a ton of stuff that we can look at. There's a ton of stuff. Lady Terminator is definitely a must-have. Lady Terminator, by the way, the one he's mentioning, is an insane film. And if you're expecting it to be like Terminator, it's nothing like Terminator. There's a lot of nudity. A lot of like Medusa I don't have. I really want a Medusa actually. Is that back in stock? Come on, let's go back to the main page. Where is Medusa? Why am I not seeing it on my page now? I'm pretty sure I saw it there. Slave, that was a good one. But there's one that I was going to pick up. I'm not sure if it's a Medusa or not, but there's one here that was like that really had a really good documentary on like Greek exploitation films. Oh, Dr. Z is definitely a must-have. Medusa, I don't know on IB, to be honest with you, so I don't know. But I've heard good things about it. I guess that's the best way to go with it for you. There we go. There's Medusa. Interview with writer director George. Okay, I'm not going to pronounce that. Interview with the lead actor. Extensive background notes. Trailer. There's one. It's not Medusa, but there's one that came out recently that had like a. Well, I prefer Kubrick if you watch it in a different way than like a YouTube, because it's probably may not be the best version of it. But Lady Exterminator is a really good film. Sorry, I couldn't say that before, man. The way this website is done, sometimes you'll see like some films, sometimes you'll see all the films. During the last pre-order, I could get one extra film because we had enough to do that. This time, I'm not even going to get the pre-order. So if anybody wants to donate to the channel, it'd be greatly appreciated over the next couple of days. Just putting that out there. Greek films are really cool. One of the neat things about the Greek films that I should mention, that I think is important now, is that they had like a thing, like the whole pre-code, and then the code came in when it came to to North American films. So in Greek films, there's no getting away with it. Like, you can be as exploitive as you want. You can have like assault. You can have a necrophilic character. You can do like a bunch of crazy, insanity. But at the end of the day, the killer's not getting away. There's no killers walking away at the end of the day. They have to like some way find a way for them to actually get their comeuppance. Understandable, Kubrick. I know you're saving for your trip. Killer Dolls, Jason, is one I really want. That looks really good. Jason, I'm assuming you got an ideal place to kill, because if you don't, get that film. That is 110% your type, and one that should be in your collection. But it's Umberto Lenzi. It's got Ray Lovelock. I'm guessing you probably already got it. Like, I would recommend An Ideal Place to Kill to anybody that was looking for something on this site. Like, there are ones that I will out and out tell you right now you should have in your library, on your shelf, from Mondo Macabre. Now, I'll leave it the three like recent ones, but ones that I think are musts. An Ideal Place to Kill. If you like werewolf movies, you got to get Beast of the Magic Sword. Like, not even a suggestion. Perversion Story, yes, 100%. Lizard in the Woman's Skin, yes. Symptoms, oh yes. The Fan, yes. Those are like just off the top of my head. Those are ones that I 110% recommend you check out. So if those are ones are missing in your collection at this point, then change that. Matthew, then I'm guessing you've already got An Ideal Place to Kill, because that's Lenzi Giallo right there, man. And I got like a okay edition, but this is a great edition of this. Brand new restoration on this, by the way. New commentary by Eurocult enthusiast Troy Haworth and Nathaniel Thompson. Archival interview with Umberto Lenzi. Delete X-rated scenes. I don't have the direct mother. Okay, I don't have the X-rated scenes of mine. English and Italian language tracks. Such a good film. Such a good film. It really, really is. Symptoms is a really fun one, Jason. I really like that. I recommend Symptoms. I really do. It's Jose Larraez, so you know you're solid going in. And it's got Angela Pleasance. And she's one of those, like, she looks haunting. Devil's Nightmare is a great film. You're 100% correct on that one. Erica Blanc is one of those actors that I really like. She's got such a unique, weird look to her. Need all these? Well, Zach, I am here to separate you from your money, apparently. Because these are some great stuff. There's some great, great stuff here. But, oh man. Come back to that in a second. So what do you think, guys? Have I gotten you excited? Have I wetted your lips for like some morsels of Mondo Macabre? Oh, there you go. Alliteration, don't you love it? Some Mondo Macabre morsels. There are some great, great releases. And you not only are you getting some really cool films, some great exploitation films, you're getting some amazingly high quality features as well with these releases. Their features are always really, really good. The erotica ones, if you can get those, excellent stuff. And I don't mean erotica, I mean erotica, which is a TV show. Inquisition is also amazing. Anything Nashi, like any of the Nashi stuff, there's not an unsolid Nashi film that they've released, in my not so humble opinion. Any of those Nashis that you're solidly safe with. Panic Beats especially. I love Panic Beats. But I don't think, if you guys can like say, but I don't think there's any Nashi one that they've put out that hasn't been like a good solid Nashi film. I really love Beast and Magic Sword. Kubrick, so Beast and Magic Sword is definitely one that one worth checking out. Actually, come to America. Is that, yeah, it's on Amazon right now, right? Yeah. I have not yet watched it. But it's definitely something that you need to get. What's top on your list, Jason, right now? Do you have one that's like on top, like that you're like, oh, I really want that one? That's kind of hitting like that sweet spot. You always get the spam ones come up every once in a while. If you get any more spam messages, Kubrick, take care of it, hey man. Beast of Magic Sword, yeah, it's Paul Nashi, but it's done in Japan, and it was done by the studio. Hi there, Burrow. Sartana and the Vengeance Trilogy box sets. I don't have the Vengeance Trilogy one. I love the Vengeance Trilogy films. Sartana box set I do have. It's fantastic. I got the original set before they put out the new release with the slimline cases without the book, but still great films. Tell you what, you don't mind waiting for 1 second? I will grab a couple of those Mondo Macabres, but I'll also grab the Sartana set. I'll show you, man. Maybe I can help you make your decision. The Hunted. Does that have a good Blu-ray release? I remember the film, but I haven't seen it in years. So guys, remember this. I'll be right back. Is there a troll here for real? Okay, cool. All right. This is the place where trolls come to die. Um, so this is the Sartana box set. This is the one to book, but it's pretty much the same. But this is a complete Sartana. And I'll just take them out and show them to you. So they come like there's 5 slimline cases. So there is, if you meet Sartana, pray for your death. I am Sartana, your angel of death. I love this artwork, by the way. Have a good funeral, my friend. Sartana will pay. Light the fuse. Sartana is coming. Sartana's here. Trade your pistol for a coffin. Mondo Macabre should definitely re-release Dr. Jekyll and Wolfman. Incredible stuff. Feature-wise on here, brand new 2K restorations for every single one of these films. You get everything from audio commentaries, brand new interviews, video essays. You get people from like C. Courtney John are doing interviews, doing like stuff on here. Interviews with Ernesto Gastaldi. Incredible like visual essays, featurettes. Sartana Lives in Archive featurette featuring interviews with actor Gianna Garco and director Giuliano Carnamio. Sartana shoots first a brand new interview with George Hilton, brand new interview with Erica Blanc, brand new interview with Tony Askin. Ton of stuff on here. You open it up. Every single one of these, by the way, every single one of them has alternate artwork as well. So if you don't like the newer artwork, you can always go for the classic artwork as well. You can probably watch them in any order at all, to be totally honest with you. I just go by release date just because. But yeah, they pretty much, you know, they're each of these are their own films. But I would watch them in the right order. Definitely a set to check out, guys. Like it initially it came with this here this book as well. Now that was the first printing of it, had the book. And really, you know, it's a cool book that came with it. You know, like 64 pages type thing. Some good write-ups on here. This isn't with the new one, but it's still, you get all the films, all the features, so can't. Like, show and tell for film freaks. Pretty much, man. Well, not just film now, like comics too. We did a whole, like, probably, what 20, 25 minutes on the comics at the beginning of this video? Excellent. I'm glad. Let me know how you feel about the Hitchcock one. I think you're gonna be solidly enjoying it. So for those here that are gonna be picking up some of the from the Mondos and maybe grabbing some other stuff as well, I just grabbed like a handful of the Blu-rays from downstairs on my way up to give you guys some an idea of like a Mondo release. And I got my limited editions upstairs. I showed those in my last Mondo one though. But here's like a standard Mondo release just to show you guys. So this is the South Korean film Suddenly in the Dark, which I really enjoy. Again, you know, like KHD transfer from original film negative, interview with producer David Sue, interview with critic Kim Bok-sok, Korean cover cavalcade. I really like that actually. Newly created English subtitles. Just a fun one. This one's like upstairs actually. Perversion Story. I love this movie. This is so good. Great cover too. And basically, it's a really cool story. So you got this guy here, played by John Sorrell, whose wife is. I think that I didn't have issue with my Psycho disc, so I'm going to guess they did, Ryan. I didn't get like the first initial run of it though. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah. Or do you mean the Psycho disc on the new set, on the House Hitchcock? Because there's a different set. No, I'm doing streams in both. I actually, if you're been on my Patreon channel, you're going to notice that you've seen some videos from my basement, some pre-tapes especially. So I'll be doing stuff in both places. It's going to be like right now the Wi-Fi signal is great here, and it is hard for me to take this whole setup downstairs. Like as it is, I bring this from upstairs down to here every night that I do a video. I'm trying to get back to doing more live videos as well. And I've been mixing up some stuff that I'm doing, so hopefully it'll be as you guys know, next week is called a Cinema Appreciation Week, and what that means is basically, as I mentioned on here before, but if you weren't here, is that for 1 week only, there's certain videos that have only ever been shown on my Patreon channel that are going to be on here. They're going to pop up on this channel for 1 week only. So if you've been hovering a bit Patreon, you're not quite sure, that type of thing, maybe this will give you, maybe this will entice you. That's the idea. See, there we go. It's kind of like when you go into like one of those stores and they got like the sample thing there, and you go in, you get the sample, you're like, oh, I'll try that out. I'm a little hungry. Not quite sure if I'm going to get it. Then you're like going and you're buying the whole big box of it. So that's what I'm doing here next week. Is I am putting up some videos that are my Patreon, that are exclusive to my Patreon. They will only be on this channel for 1 week. But it's what, and this month, this week especially, I'll be shilling like crazy. There we go. But I think it's a neat thing to do, like, because I get asked a lot about it, and I don't like to push it too much. I mentioned it in the video and stuff, but I do want people to like have an idea of what it is that they may or may not be getting. I will be doing another Patreon exclusive live stream coming up soon, by the way, so I will be letting you guys know ahead of time for that. Now, next one I'm going to show you, by the way, did not come with this green case. This green case was given to me by another collector, but this is a lizard in a woman's skin. An incredible film by Lucio Fulci, which I do 110% recommend. It's definitely Movieholics that you pick up. Great features, a great cast. You got Farinda Balkan on this one here, Stanley Baker, Gene Sorrell again, of course, Anita Strindberg. Just an amazing cast. If you don't have this, I don't know. If you got like gel in your collection, and this one isn't in your collection, you don't have gel in your collection. You got to get this one. Just saying it. There's of course the excellent Franco film, this is like one of the most kind of like artsy but bafflingly cool little Franco films. And I find with Franco, people like to like something, like to buy like a couple, to like Bahia Blanca, because that's really kind of a standard one. Then they're getting some other stuff, and it'll be like, not quite sure. You get like 9 or 10 like Franco films under your belt, and then you're hooked. Then there's no going back. And this is, of course, Night Has 1,000 Desires, which is one that I do recommend. It's a really great film. It has the beautiful, I gotta make sure there's no nudity on the back of it. Oh, we're good. It has the beautiful Lena Romay. She was with Franco till the end, and they were such an amazing couple. And here is Symptoms. This is a limited edition of Symptoms. Now, when this initially came out, because there was a UK edition of it as well, it took longer to go to print. Now, this one didn't have a slipcover, but it did have a bonus disc called Larias on Larias, which is actually really good. And it also had a booklet by Sam Deegan. So, you gotta love that. Hey there, Jamie. Welcome, man. So, me and Jamie were talking. So, are you good with like the week after the weekend coming? So, Jamie has a birthday coming up. Like, not his birthday, but it's a birthday that he's got to go to. We were talking earlier. And I sent you a message. Hopefully, you got it. So, we'll be moving Jamie's like conversation on here, his live conversation, to the week after. If that's still good with you, like let me know for sure. Tim Lucas is right. Or at least a nice few of them. But again, I really, really love this one here. Are you a fan, Jamie, of like Mondo Macabre as a company, and are you a fan of Symptoms by Jose Larraz? Hope not my first birthday present today, James. And that is over there, which I'll show at the end. And of course, the classic. Don't Google it. Don't read a synopsis of it. Get the film. Watch it blind. Really the best way to watch the film. It is The Fan, or Der Fan. Such an amazing, amazing film. My birthday's not yet. My birthday's the 31st, but the way we're doing it now, because I'm hitting the big 50 on my birthday, every week, once a week, because I'm collecting I'm getting some omnibuses for my birthday, some comic book omnibuses. Then I'll be getting one a week right up to my birthday. So I'll have the time to dive in and look at them. And some of you guys here have sent me some birthday presents. So those will be unboxed. I have one, I think, coming on Monday. So I'll be unboxing that one on here. But this is really, really great film. If you have not seen this film, I'm guessing most people here have seen The Fan, but if you haven't, you want to go into this one blind. It's a German film by Eckhard Schmidt, and basically, this is 50 is the new 30, man. That's what I'm going with. I am an Aries. We got a Pisces here. I'm an Aries. So I'm the kind of the... Well, there you go, see? We're the Big 50 Club. But yeah, so definitely recommend it. So, Jamie, if you don't know, Mondo Macabre are putting out their pre-orders for Hell of the Devil, which is one of the most wanted Nashi films, and Jorge Gro's Hunting Ground on the 11th at 9 a.m. I think Pacific time. I'll check for you to be sure. But that's one of those two films coming for pre-order. So we're looking at some Mondo Macabre stuff here tonight. Hence that what I unboxed earlier, and I'm super proud of. I'm going to show it again while we chat here. It's heavy. This beast right here, which is the Marvel Classic Comics omnibus. And one last time, I'll say what's on this. My God, this is going to be like for working out. Last Mohicans, War of the Worlds, Treasure Island, Ivanhoe, Count of Monte Cristo, The Odyssey, Robinson Crusoe, Frankenstein, Master of the World, Food of the Gods, Moonstone, She, Invisible Man, Iliad, Kidnapped, Pit and the Pendulum, and other Edgar Allan Poe stories, Prisoner of Zenda, Arabian Nights, First Man on the Moon, White Fang, Prince and the Pauper, Robin Hood, Alice in Wonderland, and A Christmas Carol. I think I put more in astrology. My better half is very different with that, though. And this, yeah, this is incredible. March 14th. March 14th is my dad's birthday. Did you know that? Well, of course you did. Not my dad's birthday is on March 14th, so his birthday is this month too. I don't know if I'm going to get the Donnie. I like Donnie Darko, but I'm not quite sure if I need the 4K. Your sister, there's a whole bunch of people from March 14th. My dad's not here tonight. I did message him, let him know that I was going to be doing a video though. But my dad's birthday, hey there Judith, is on the 14th of March. So both of us were born in March. So I think he's a Pisces and I'm an Aries. I'm the Ram. I'm not watching, but if any of you guys are watching the kind of the pay-per-view that's on tonight or coming on tonight, definitely let me know. Hey, Dad. So my dad is here. Welcome, man. His birthday is March the 14th. So I got like 4 more of those. I'm not quite sure who was born on my birthday. It's something to check on, you know? Sagittarius, half man, half horse. Well, there's a good opening line. Yeah, the one sting. AEW Revolution is going on tonight. Although it's a pay-per-view, it's like $50, so I can't get it. But yeah, it's a bit pricey. But I will be checking it out later because the one insanely great book pay-per-view. Hey there, Dustin. Welcome, man. 2, apparently, hopefully the hype lives up to itself. A huge signing. My dad doesn't have to get me a gift. He's good. He's my dad. He did that already. He's I'm here. Well, Sting is awesome, man. Hey there, Owen. Welcome. Because remember, AEW, it's like WWE, but it's good. I don't know. I actually really don't know. I know that comes on the Bleacher Report, gets it, and it comes on for regular. I usually watch the reaction videos with my better half. Some people are saying AEW is horrible right now. So, do you want my completely unfiltered, honest answer to that one? As somebody that watched wrestling for years and actually likes both the sports entertainment and the wrestling aspect of that, some people are full of shit because right now the best wrestling you're going to see here in North America is AEW. Because WWE has gotten really bad. Really bad. But AEW is good. It's been really good. And whether you like the traditional matches or you like what's going to be going on, which is an exploding barbed wire match, which is going on tonight. Who do I think the signing is? Batista. CM Punk shot it down. But if you were if you were going to be on the show and you want to surprise somebody, wouldn't you shoot it down too? Batista's retired. He is an actor, and he's doing extremely well in the Marvel universe, and with other films as well. I don't see Batista coming back. It would be short term. CM Punk is a dream. Is would be a dream for me. CM Punk along with AJ Lee is what I think would be the best choice. I just don't think that he's there yet. Christian is probably, like Zombie said there, that's probably the most likely choice of who it's going to be. Kurt Angle would be great because he could work with, like, he's an older wrestler. He's one of the best of all time, and he could work with a lot of the younger wrestlers because Kurt Angle is one of those guys that that would just he's a giver. If you like ECW, hey, if you like ECW guys, you really should watch this pay-per-view because it's got an exploding barbed wire match, and yes, that's gonna be insane. Uh, no, not the guy from the police. Sting, the Steve Borden, the wrestler from WCW, who went over to WWE and they screwed him over. So he's over with the company now that don't screw him over. You think Kurt Angle? Kurt Angle would be a great signing. That would be one. But isn't Kurt Angle already in the Hall of Fame? They said Hall of Fame worthy. So if they dance around that, I think the only way the ways that they could disappoint is as if it's like someone like, and not that he's a bad wrestler, but I don't think he would be an exciting like get. He'd be an interesting get, like somebody like Mark Henry, which some people have like said, was it Mark Henry? Well, that's not a Hall of Fame worthy. Big, I don't want to pay $50. I can't pay. We did want to pay $50, Matthew, and then we looked into our bank account. We're like, oh, we overdrew a bit this month. We overdrew a bit. Not, we do. That's But hey, that's the price of being a collector, isn't it? That's the price of like wanting some nice stuff and having cats. So WWE has been good since 2015. I would agree. But no, Jason, if you've been a fan of wrestling at all, then yes, AEW is probably what you should be watching. AW, NJPW, of course, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Definitely cool stuff. Worked the guy in his horror films. Day job is editing for WWE. Scared Stiff TV. Who is it? Kurt Angle's great. Like, he's always been great. Here's a guy that's really got it because he is like an amateur wrestler. He knows what he's doing, but he was able to transfer himself and his whole stick over to professional wrestling like pretty easily. Some people are just a natural, and there's a huge difference between amateur wrestling and pro wrestling. There's a whole like aspect. You can be like, just look at some of the people that come from like the UFC, and some of them are really great because they're real super badasses. But you can be a super badass and be boring on the screen. You got to be able to talk. You got to have some type of voice. You got to have something there. You got to have what's the word I want to use? What's the phrase I want to use? Oh, I know what it is. You have to have a cult of personality to really to really go well. Let's see who gets that. Not at all, actually. And you always have to remember. People always say, well, TNA like had a lot of WWE stars, or like ROH had a lot of TNA stars, stuff like that. I'm going to tell you right now. I've been around watching wrestling since the '80s. Do you know what WWE had? It had a lot of stars from other companies, from the other AWA stars. WWE made made itself off of a bunch of stars that were popular in other companies. The smart thing that AEW is doing is that it's taking WWE stars, that WWE people that were stars, and they're using them, the older people, to help get over the younger audience, and they're taking the younger people that were not utilized properly in the WWE. They were pretty much like fodder, and are actually giving them like storylines. No other company would have like guys like Orange Cassidy or Luchasaurus and stuff like get over in like the way that they're getting over here. Sheik. Oh, that's awesome, man. My dad saw you saw them all, right? Like at one in Corner Brook, they all came. Like Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, all of them. I think even Marty Jannetty was there. My dad went to like this thing here in a thing in Corner Brook years back. There's still some great wrestlers on the mic, but over in the WWE, unfortunately, Vince, what's happening right now is they have writers And you don't want writers. The nice thing when you see something in the WWE that's working, like let's say you're looking at something like, I don't know, the Roman Reigns storyline that's going on right now. Why is that working? Because that's pretty much that's him. That's been a lot of him and a lot of Heyman kind of working together to do that. 90% of stuff in WWE is scripted, like a television program. You gotta let the wrestlers get over. Like, they go from place to place and work in smaller venues. The wrestlers realize what gets them over. If you give them the chance to do that and look at what gets them over, then they tend to do better. That's why Jon Moxley is a much better character than Dean Ambrose was. Yeah, like, it's rare, and it's a shame. But what happened basically is Vince wanted to compete with television programming, and Vince has always had a love-hate relationship with his wrestling company. In that he's really got it successful, and he works his butt off trying to make it successful, but he wants it to be something else, and he wants to be big at other things. And like, even like Paul Heyman, like, look what they did with ECW when they put that on WWE. They screwed that so bad. Like, how bad was the ECW that they remember ECW from WWE era? With aliens and stuff. Yeah, that's not a good idea. They're not, though. I mean, like, I love the Undertaker, but if he thinks wrestlers are soft, it's because the companies have let wrestlers do and become soft. That's the thing. Wrestlers aren't soft because the new wrestlers are coming out. Wrestlers are softer because there's no developmental territory to work with, and his company, the WWE, are bringing people that are barely wrestlers. But let's be honest. You get a guy like Jon Moxley or Christian or Seth Rollins when he's not in WWE, when he was, I guess, what was his name? Tyler Black, right? Get guys like that. Yeah, they can go toe to toe with anything that came out in the old days. You can put Jon Moxley in a dog collar match, circa 1970s, and that Jon Moxley is gonna do really well over there. MJF, classic heel character. I do apologize for the people that are watching that don't really don't get the wrestling thing right now. But as you find it in my channel, we can be talking about comic book collecting in 5 minutes, going on to Mondo Macabre, going to wrestling, going to like a whole bunch of other stuff. I do keep my WWE channel for the pay-per-views, which sometimes are good, sometimes are painful, and for like the older shows, like especially the interview shows. It's okay to like what you do. Unpopular opinions are what my channel is all about. Have you seen the movies that I watch, Jason? I am filled with unpopular opinions. Stick with your unpopular opinion and stand by it. There was some good stuff done in the WWE, ECW. Overall, it totally wasn't for me. I know, Kubrick. But see, this is where you kind of find out some cool stuff. VCI El Santo. My dad has those, actually, which he strongly said were really good. So I definitely got to get those down the road. You mean by burying the wrestlers? Well, if you weren't made from, if I didn't create you in the WWE, you're not. You're gonna be jerking that curtain. Roddy Piper is an amazing wrestler. He's Canadian, by the way. He's passed on, unfortunately, now. But yeah, he's just like me. He's Canadian. Jericho's a special case. Like, Jericho, Jericho, since he started, has always been able to do. Like, you go watch Jericho stuff in WCW, to the stuff he did in WWE, to the stuff that he did in AEW. He's always been one of those guys that just was really been able to get stuff over. My favorite is still WWF. I make that mistake too sometimes. Get the F. Remember the get the F thing after they got sued. I still remember like him in WCW when he was called the Lionheart. He was kind of a bad guy at the time, and he like Dean Malenko was doing like a feud with a guy named Dean Malenko, who was like the man of was it 100 holds or 1,000 holds, something like that. And so he said that he is Chris Jericho, and he's the man of 1,001 holds. And here are all of his holds. So he had his a big like printout of paper, and he was like armbar, the Mongolian armbar. Like he was 1,004 moves. Exactly. That was so amazing, wasn't it? Oh man, why did he show? How was your friend? And he showed you Wrestler the Boogeyman. That is horrible. That was a horrible character. Yeah. Your friend should have showed you Chris Jericho or AJ Styles or Shawn Michaels in his prime. That's like me going to somebody who said, hey, you've never watched a movie before? Let me show you The Room. You don't do that. Friends don't do that to friends, man. But yeah, it is going to be an incredible. Let me just check here. I want to see what the lineup is. Find out. All right. So let's check the full card. Full match card. Pre-show has Rio and Thunder Rosa versus Dr. Britt Baker and Rebel. That should be a good match. Casino Tag Team Royale. Winner receives a future AEW Tag Team Championship opportunity. We got Bear Country versus the Dark Order with Alex Reynolds and John Silver versus the Dark Order. Evil Uno and Stu Grayson versus the Inner Circle with Santana and Ortez. Amazing wrestlers versus the Butcher and the Blade versus Private Party versus Top Flight versus Death Triangle. Man, I'm missing this. Oh, crap. Versus Varsity Blondes versus the Sydal Brothers versus SoCal Uncensored versus the Natural Nightmares versus Chaos Project. Holy sh! Versus Gun Club versus the Dark Order and Alan Angels and Preston Vance. Next up is Miro, who used to be known as Rusev, and Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford versus Best Friends Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. Rebel is out. Who replaced Rebel? Oh, the Orange Cassidy stuff's amazing. Face the Revolution ladder match. This is going to be an intriguing one. We got Cody Rhodes, Scorpio Sky, Penta El Zero Mito, Lance Archer with Jake the Snake Roberts, dad, I'm sure you remember him, Max Caster, and a to-be-announced wrestler. Maschiatio, nice. Even better, actually. My humble opinion, not so humble opinion. Big money match. Winner receives loser's first quarter earnings. Adam Page versus Matt Hardy, and the run up to that was incredible. The Young Bucks versus Inner Circle. That's Chris Jericho and MJF with Wardlow. So that should be a really good match. AEW Women's World Championship match with Akira Shido versus Ryu Mazunami. And AEW World Championship match, which is versus Kenny Omega with Don Callis against Jon Moxley, an exploding barbed wire death match. My better half does, actually. She didn't when I initially met her, but she knows more about wrestling now than I do. She watches a lot of the wrestling shows like Wrestle Talk, Cultaholic, like YouTube channels like that. And of course, there's also the big signing coming up. And that was an ad that was on my screen. Mika Hateo, yeah. Did I say it wrong? I'm sorry. But yeah, it should be really, really good. Jake the Snake is you got to understand. Jake the Snake's had a bit of a hard life, so depending on when you met him, man, Jake the Snake may have been one of his dark periods. So Jake the Snake had some serious issues. So the Jake the Snake that you may have met at the time may not be the Jake the Snake that there is now. Just to put it that way, we've all had our periods. Well, maybe not to the level of Jake the Snake, but we've all had our darker periods, whether it be Jake the Snake or what's his name again, Razor Ramon, Scott. That scared you. Sorry, man. The only thing I want to scare you is when we hear donations coming in. There's a donation link down at the bottom of the page for anybody that's interested. I will shill the hell out of this. And the fact that I've come on here and did a pay-per-view worthy stream. The women's division's a weak point right now. Actually, not. WWE Strong Point used to be the women's division. The booking of the women's division right now sucks too. TNA, like him or hate him, TNA, solid women's division. Solid women's division. I was kind of hoping that Tessa would be a signing tonight with AEW, but I don't see that happening right now, which is a shame because Tully's there, so it would be interesting to get Tessa there as well. The women's division, like the wrestlers you got in the women's division, are pretty good overall. The problem you got is the booking of the women's division. It's not well booked right now. That's their weakest spot at this point. At this point right now, the WWE are doing, although they're doing horribly when it comes to the booking of the women's division, they've got solid women wrestlers. And if you're watching a WWE you're watching a first day no tongue, WWE pay-per-view, 9 times out of 10, the best match you're going to see on that card is going to be the women's match. Like most of the time. Remember when it was just like bra and panties matches, and now women matches are like probably the best things on the card. So this is one time you gotta be, I'm kind of glad for things have advanced where, because you're getting some great wrestling. Charlotte Flair. Now there's a wrestler that's insanely incredible. She gets pushed like crazy, but still she gets pushed like, why? I wonder why. Because she's an amazing wrestler. I don't know if she's Ric Flair's daughter, but like, if she was Ric Flair's daughter and she couldn't wrestle, well, let me remind you of other wrestlers that are related to people and didn't go. It happens sometime, man. They won't, man. It's gone too far with it now. Like, eventually, if they're smart, what they'll do, what they need to do, is this. Triple H. Let him run the company more. Then the next thing you do, Bruce Pritchard. Bye. Bruce Pritchard is big with Vince because Bruce Pritchard is a yes man. Have you ever seen the Canadian wrestling film Wrestling Queen? It sounds familiar, so I think I have years ago, but I don't remember very well. Asuka and AEW would be incredible. They have some great Japanese female wrestlers in AEW actually. Riho was really good. Obviously, things happening in the world stopped her from being there for a while. But I was always a big fan of Riho. And they had like Awesome Kong there too, which was incredible. See, this is the thing you either love or you hate about my channel, is that we have so many streams that cross over that we talk about. Not Brother Love. Yes. Oh, I love the Brother Love character. I love listening to Bruce Pritchard talk on his podcast. However, am not an idiot. And when I noticed, as soon as Bruce Pritchard came in, the hard and back, I knew Bischoff was gone. I knew that anybody else that was working was still, like, I knew Paul Heyman wasn't going to be running the show anymore. I knew it because Pritchard is a yes person, and Vince does not need another yes man. That's what makes wrestling bad. It does. If you think wrestling's boring, you watch the wrong wrestling. I'm sorry. Watch The Goonies. The Goonies is such a fun film. Mike Tyson don't like wrestling. He was a big DX fan. But yeah, so the pay-per-view is going on probably right now. Well, it is going on right now because somebody said, if anybody's watching it and knows who the signing is, I'm guessing Christian, but in case of someone else, then yeah, let me know if it comes up on your screen. I'm guessing it'll be all over Twitter. I've been watching all the Dark Side of the Ring episodes. They're really fascinating. It may not like you. It won't make you like wrestling more. That's for sure. But there's some amazing stuff there. I'm trying to see here if there's been any updates on my Twitter machine, as Bully Ray calls it. So we'll go to AW Revolution. Does anybody want me to, like, spoil any of this stuff? The fight app, you should be able to find the fight app, Judith, on it should be on I'm not sure what device you use, like for streaming, if you use Roku or Apple TV or from your computer. I know it's from the computer. You can get it from the computer. And I think it's something like $4.99 a month, but you might have to pay extra for the AEW Revolution. Just to let you know. I think it's like $19.99 for Revolution on the fight app. Whereas, like, it's $39.99 if you don't have a subscription to the fight app, and I think it's $49.99 overall. So here we go. Who wants some spoilers? Who doesn't want any spoilers for their stuff? There's a ton of cool stuff here. Anywho, there we go. Tonight, you got to watch me unbox the first of my month of birthday gifts with the Marvel Classic Comics, which is what I'm going to be doing here. I won't spoil it, man. I don't want to do that. I'm not that guy. Though I do know who won the tag match. And I will say that Super Kick City is still going good. If you can understand what that means, then you know. We talked about Mondo Macabre's upcoming pre-orders, which are happening. I apologize. This is my voice. Which are happening on the 11th. Make sure you check that out. We went over Mondo Macabre stuff. I showed you my merch store. Remember, feel free to check that out. Even if I'm live or if I'm not live, there is also always a donation link in the bottom of these videos. If thou would like to put a few coppers my way for the work that I've done, it would be highly appreciated. But also, the most important stuff, like, share, subscribe for the one person that downvoted this video right now. Thanks for letting me live in your headspace. I am Aaron. You all are the Call to Cinema. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I'll see you here again soon. I'm going to get some tea, and I am going to watch. Actually, I'm going to read. I'm going to read some Marvel Classic comics.